Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Stephen A. Smith reacts to Dak Prescott getting caught saying the Cowboys suck during loss. Number 1 Dallas Cowboys hater Stephen A. Smith is having a blast watching the Cowboys struggle this season. On Sunday, the Cowboys lost their third straight game of the season after falling to the Falcons in Atlanta 22-23. During the game, Cowboys superstar QB Dak Prescott was caught by Fox's cameras saying, "We suck," while the team was down 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter. Smith, who has mocked the Cowboys throughout his ESPN career, posted a hilarious video of himself laughing at Prescott. Stephen A.'s video made fans excited to watch First Take on Monday morning. The Dallas Cowboys have been bad by just about any measure during the 2024 season, and quarterback Dak Prescott was just caught on camera admitting as much. Prescott was standing on the sideline during the team's road loss against the Atlanta Falcons with less than 4 minutes to play and down 2 touchdowns. The camera was zoomed in directly on Prescott's face when he turned to a teammate and clearly said, "We suck." The SportsCenter and ESPN Instagram accounts posted the video, which had nearly 170,000 views and counting during the first hour. The Cowboys lost the game 27-21 and fell to 3-5 on the season. The Cowboys lost more than the game on Sunday, November 3rd. They also potentially lost Prescott for multiple games due to a hamstring injury that knocked him out of the contest in Atlanta. Prescott will have an MRI on the muscle and spoke to reporters after the game. "I mean, it's hard for me to say. I would say that I'll be out there next week," Prescott said, per ESPN. "Once again, I've got to see. Luckily, I can say I've healed fast, I've progressed fast on injuries and things, so thankful for that. Gotta get a picture of it. When we get a picture of it, I guess we'll see how bad it is. It'll take a lot for me to not be out there, I'll say, personally." Jerry Jones' grim comment on Dak Prescott injury bodes horribly for Cowboys. Just when you thought the Dallas Cowboys season couldn't get any worse, Dak Prescott was ruled out early in the fourth quarter of Sunday's game against the Atlanta Falcons after suffering a hamstring injury. Prescott was injured while throwing a pass in a clean pocket. He had enjoyed his most effective rushing effort of the season, compiling 30 yards on 3 scrambles. Perhaps that played a factor into the injury. With Dallas' season on the brink of collapse, the severity of Prescott's injury might determine whether they buy or sell at the deadline. Naturally, Jerry Jones was the first to comment on the injury, and his assessment does not bode well for the Cowboys quarterback. That sums up the feeling of Cowboys Nation. While the severity of the injury is unknown, Prescott was seen walking off the field after the loss with a noticeable limp. It's encouraging that Dak was able to walk off under his own power, but Jones' comment hints further testing may confirm a potentially significant injury. Prescott's hand initially seemed to be the concern. The Fox broadcast showed Prescott getting treatment on the sideline. That might be a separate issue for the Cowboys quarterback. The hamstring is what forced him from the game. If Prescott is forced to miss time, Cooper Rush will take the reins of the offense. We got a relatively large sample size of Rush on Sunday after Prescott was ruled out, and it wasn't encouraging. He attempted 25 passes in 1 quarter of play, totaling 115 yards and a garbage time touchdown. He attempted just 4.3 yards per attempt and completed 52% of his passes. The timing of Prescott's injury puts the front office in a difficult position with the NFL trade deadline just 2 days away. The offense had a limited ceiling with number 4 under center. That obviously goes away with Rush. Say Prescott is considered week to week. Should Jerry Jones be aggressive in terms of buying talent? While 3-5 is a tough hole to climb out of, Micah Parsons and Darren Bland and potentially DeMarcus Lawrence are close to returning. Is the juice worth the squeeze, or should Dallas sell some veterans who could fetch promising draft capital for 2025? It's an impossible situation to navigate, but all we can do is speculate before Prescott undergoes further testing, which will likely happen when the team arrives back in Dallas. If Jones' comment is any indication, though, Prescott's injury might be worse than it looked in real time. Cowboys trade prediction replaces Ezekiel Elliott with 1,500-yard superstar RB. The Dallas Cowboys have had a lot of problems this season on both sides of the ball. One of the biggest reasons for a disappointing 3-5 start to the 2024 NFL season has been the run game. The Cowboys, led by running backs Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott, rank 31st in the NFL in rushing yards per game, averaging just 82.0. Sure, a big reason for the lack of production on the ground has been the offensive line. Left tackle Tyler Guyton and center Cooper Beebe, both rookies, make up 2/5 of the starting line, while right tackle Terrence Steele has underperformed. But this does not take away from the lack of talent Mike McCarthy and company have in the backfield. Dowdle, who has received the majority of the carries, went undrafted in 2020, while Elliott is far from his prime. In fact, Elliott received the bench treatment for Dallas' loss to the Atlanta Falcons due to disciplinary reasons, giving veteran Dalvin Cook some more playing time. Still, if Jerry Jones doesn't look for answers before the trade deadline, he could during the 2025 NFL Draft. Chris Licata of Athlon Sports believes he's found the perfect replacement for Zeke to help quarterback Dak Prescott in the future. Licata named Boise State Broncos superstar Ashton Jeanty as the ideal running back for the Cowboys. As the draft order sits through 9 weeks, Dallas would be selecting in the middle of the first round. Jeanty has the skill set that could very possibly see him go in the top 10, meaning Jones would have to move up to get the Heisman Trophy hopeful. The Cowboys are probably too talented not to win a few more games, Licata wrote. So the expectation is they'll be stuck picking in the middle of the first round in April. That may legitimately put them out of range to select Boise State's Ashton Jeanty, the consensus #1 running back prospect in the class. In order for Dallas to make their way into the top 10, assuming they do land in the middle of the first round, they will likely have to give up their own first-round pick along with a few others. Jeanty has been legitimately insane during the 2024 college football season. Through 8 games, the junior from Jacksonville, Florida, has notched 190 carries for 1,525 yards, 8.0 yards per carry, and 20 touchdowns. Jeanty hasn't necessarily done much in the passing game this season, but he has proven himself as a dual-threat running back from his output in 2023, securing 43 catches for 569 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jeanty and the Broncos still have 4 more regular season games remaining. So, barring injury, he should exceed the 2,000-yard mark. He's on pace for 2,287 rushing yards. And that does not include the Mountain West Conference Championship game or the college football playoff, which is a very real possibility for Boise State as it aims to secure the lone group of 5 bid. Coincidentally, Luke Easterling, also of Athlon Sports, does not think the Cowboys would have to make any move in order to land Jeanty. In his most recent first-round mock draft, Easterling has Jeanty falling to Dallas at number 16 overall. If Jeanty were to end up in Arlington, Texas, he would be an instant upgrade for a very poor running game. Mix him in with Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, and the Cowboys would have themselves a new 3-headed monster. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Ashton Jeanty? Leave your opinion in the comments.